Okay, so now I hope you've enjoyed the last video on that Egyptian temple out there. Now we're in the museum proper. So, here. Let's have a look around, shall we? I haven't seen any pesky people standing around observing us yet. General Jehuti. This is Nineteenth Dynasty Saqqara. It might have been recycled from the Old Kingdom. 1400 BC Egyptian jewellery. I think an effigy of Baal. There's the sun god there. But it would have been the top of the pyramid, guys. But what kind of narrow pyramid would this have topped? A bit weird. Pyramidions are found in pyramid ruins. I'm not sure what's going on here. This is just so strange. This looks like an image of Baal to me. I'm sure Phoenicians were in Egypt at one time. Triple goddess. Who says old Europe didn't go to Egypt? Here, looks almost like a fireplace. 5 goddesses. We don't know what's going on here. What do you guys think? It's a mystery. Their feet look funny. Damn. Best museum ever. Let's look at the effigies. What's going on? We're inside an Egyptian mastaba. So now we can analyze this mastaba. Basically, in the afterlife, this guy wanted to have lots of slaves. Lots and lots of slaves, lots and lots of food. That looks almost like a fireplace. Did he break out? Did the mummy escape? What's going on? On the Nile River. Wow! We don't have anything like this in Australia. We have nothing like this. Oh my god. Diorite, alabaster. What's going on with that? Not everything is in English, but what can you do? Nubian sculptures. Coptic. Leiden's Anatomy Theatre. That looks morbid. That's a famous picture. Saqqara Serapeum. Images of Serapis. This is the Dutch version of the British Museum, basically. Unbelievable. Why is Hathor in this little reliquary? What's going on with that? And that's a king or something. Looks very archaic. This is old. This is old. What does it say? It says 20th dynasty. I don't think so. I think it's first dynasty and recycled. That looks weird. And the writing's been added. Yep. That looks like third dynasty to me. Third dynasty. Yeah. Stuff gets recycled and they don't have a clue. And here we see some of the earliest of Egyptian pottery. Unbelievable stuff, 3400 BC. That's what it looked like. It looks like big pottery in England, basically. That's what it looks like. Kind of. It was made in a similar way with, it looks like it was made with just, lines of clay and then it was smoothed out. That's quite primitive for the era. There were much more advanced things in that era. Some of the oldest stuff here, 6000 BC. Basically these axe heads. Something from cosmetics. Funny looking great goddess with the big hips. Animals, weird animals. And something that looks like a propeller. Could it be a boomerang? It doesn't seem to say what it is, which is interesting. 3700 BC. That's interesting. Very interesting, guys. Okay, here we have it doesn't say what it is. It does not say what it is, but this is from the very early era. That's pre-first dynasty, 2900 BC. Very early era Egyptian artifacts. We have, that's almost like a different type of Egyptian writing on that seal. That doesn't even look like Egyptian to me. A few letters do, but others don't. That's weird. And alabaster is used for offerings. Alabaster altars in the Middle Kingdom. That's interesting. This is like the red marks inside the Great Pyramid, isn't it? We see a bit of this. And that's famous. This crops up again and again on Google Images, guys. This is very famous, very interesting. Like, whoa. So you got two Anubis up the top. You got two eyeballs, eyes of Horus, and you have a lot of writing, which I wish I could read. And how many at the bottom? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You got 20, 22, 23. These are sacred numbers in Babylonian numerology. That's very interesting. Yeah, very interesting. Oh, is that a Buddha effigy? What is that? It's a great goddess, but what's it doing here? Bears or something? 12th dynasty doesn't say what it is. It looks like Buddha, doesn't it? So Buddha was in Egypt, possibly. Yeah. Guys, something I missed out on. Nubs. We got nubs here, but, archaic first dynasty or third dynasty style structure. So it basically says the House of Anubis. Yep, that's all I can do, sorry. Is this the House of Anubis? Did this go inside the Sphinx? Wow, it's huge. The side inside, it's quite wide, and it's incredibly deep as well. Nose has been destroyed. Boom. Look at the robes. Did this inspire ancient Rome? I just can't believe it. Well, of course, the longer we stay here, the more we see. And there we see the jet pillar on top of those on the edges of these pylons. Very interesting, guys. Mechanical power network. What's going on? The structure of the chair. I'm learning a lot about Egypt from these headdresses. Like, I haven't seen these before. Very weird. That's a king and queen. But it doesn't say who. Maya and Merit. Okay, they're called Maya and Merit. Interesting. And New Kingdom. I'm interested in what this thing is. What the hell is this? Shiva Lingam? Cosmetic palette? Grinding wheel? Damn, what is it? That's that Mastaba again. This is something unfinished. Look, they're walking across something, but it was thrown away or something. But they traced out in red what they wanted to draw, but they never got around to drawing it. Copper chisel, guys. That's an actual copper chisel. So they had the chisels. That's a ruler. That's a cubit. That is a cubit ruler. They had metal chisels, copper, tools. The two guardians of the Mastaba. The chapel of Heteferakti, 5th dynasty. This is just one dynasty after the Giza pyramids, allegedly, guys. We'll go back inside, have a closer look. These guys were primitive. These are primitive people. You don't draw things like this if you're advanced. This is... I don't know what's going on here. Damn, those poor fish, but they're huge. Those are enormous fish. Why are they so big? Some fish story we don't know about? What do we see here? What observations can we make? This guy's got a bit of an umbrella, bit of a fan, or a banner. A bit of a banner, that's weird. Like, what's going on with that? Whips, oh yeah. They're whipping something, but they're not showing what they're whipping. Someone was sensitive to that, they got rid of that. Yeah. And as you see, different colour people, multicultural. Yeah. It's ancient Egypt, guys, right in front of us. Also, bull fertility. They got this bull cult still in the 5th dynasty, which is quite interesting. Crocodiles, but they're funny looking. They have that one has the head of a lamb. That's weird. These people are slaughtering the butchers, they're slaughtering the cows, slaughtering the horses. Is that a horse? Collecting food. This is incredible, guys. Incredible. And God knows what's going on in some of these reliefs. We've got some kind of Shiva Linga here. You know, proof the Asians were in Egypt. Here are these Africans. These are Africans in bondage, you see. Ethiopian slaves. The Phrygian caps again. They did have elaborate hairstyles. They put a lot of effort into their hairstyles. You can see that. Because what else did they have to do, you know? The clothes are weird looking. The sandals are quite primitive. Piece of string and then some leather around the foot. Interesting, interesting. Look at that headdress. Look at how elaborate the hair was done. Semite slaves, African slaves. I've never seen these reliefs before, and look at how dimensional they are. Look at that. It's almost Roman in quality or Greek in quality. That's amazing. And by the Greco-Roman period, they no longer knew what the heck they were doing. That's pretty bad. I mean, that's pretty bad, guys. That's pretty bad. And you see the Greek influence here? It's basically a Greek statue. That's what it is. That looks almost Christian. That's very interesting. We don't know the rituals, some Mithraic stuff. The hieroglyphs are done very badly. And you have these, the winged Arten. Over here we have eternal life depicted on this box. We have Thoth, the god of knowledge. Mummified god Sobek. It looks like it's a mummified crocodile, guys. Look at that. Unbelievable. That's an altar. Mummified animals. Mummified baboon. Mummified human. Human mummy. Another human mummy. This place reeks of death. Second dynasty. So these are all the first millennium BC, the final days of independent Egypt. They're done in imitation of earlier dynasties, as you can see. Oh damn, this is never ending. Bez. Coptic. In conclusion, guys, I have to say Egypt is a lot stranger than I thought it was before I saw these artifacts. I've seen a lot more strange stuff. It's a bit weird. Yeah. Mithrae cult? Copts and Muslims, is it? Interesting. An angel? That's Mithra. Mithra has to be killed. He has a last supper, he gets killed, he's reborn. But we don't know much about their religion. What the hell is going on here? He's offering some kind of sails or something. No, these are ears of wheat. He's offering wheat. The king is offering wheat. This is the god of the Great Pyramid. This is Khnum. Not sure who that is. It looks like Satan. That could be Satan. Why has he got horns? I've never seen that before. Khnum and Satan, okay. And it's from, they don't know, 30th dynasty. No. This is some earlier thing. It's been recycled, but the writing might be newer. What's over here? Oh, 4th dynasty. Damn, that is good looking. And what's it gonna, look how smooth it is. And you see they write it's 27th dynasty. No guys, this is 4th dynasty. It's from a forgotten temple at Giza. That's 4th dynasty. That's very badly done. Yeah, it's I'm just shocked there's so much stuff here. Just weird. Alright, copper chisels, guys. You didn't believe in copper chisels? Ha! You got copper chisels. This is how they made the Great Pyramid. They just put these, they just hammered the rocks with these. Yep. Ha. You gotta be kidding me, they had harps? Wow. Flutes, tiny little flutes. Mirrors. Oh, more collections up there. What the hell is this? That's an altar. It's a Hebrew altar. It's a Hebrew altar. And it corresponds indeed. It's 1700 BC. It's about the time of the Hyksos, kind of. Hyksos was around 2000 BC to 1900 BC. Time of Abraham, basically. That's a very interesting altar. Very interesting. Uh-oh, it's about to get noisy, people. Look at that. Whoa. Anubis. Okay, now I can actually talk at a normal volume then. Third century BC apparently, not really though. Anubis, Nefertiti's, Sekhmet, Osiris, and we have the Osiris Trinity and Nefertiti. Cool. Oh yeah. Amasis was the Hyksos capital, I think. But this is 26th dynasty, and it seems to be a type of pyramid. Here we have St. George killing the serpent, but it dates to the period 20th dynasty, 1200 BC. Huh. Very interesting, guys, very interesting. Guys, this is endless. Like, oh my god, long video. Bears, you know what? You know what, guys? This is obviously the origin of the Pacific Tiki god. That's where the Tiki god comes from. You're missing an arm, mate. Helios. Okay, Helios. Huh. Well, that's interesting, because if the Tiki gods come from Bez, that means there was a Pacific expedition of Egyptians. Because they're Tiki gods. They're like in my pub at home. Weird. Well, guys, if you thought the Sphinx was a dog, or if you thought it was a bird, it might have been Bez. There we go. That's a very Sphinx-like thing, isn't it? Very interesting. It looks like the Sphinx, doesn't it? These kids even said it was the Sphinx. I mean, there you go, you know? There you go. Could that be the origin of Jonah and the whale over here? They're holding a crocodile though. Okay. Oh, that looks like a Christian in a temple being ascended or something. That's weird. Okay, Roman period. We don't know what it is. Oh, that looks like the Athenian owl. Very interesting. Very interesting. Something I missed out on. These are relics of Byzantine Egypt. I mean, how good is that? Look, you got an oil lamp. You got this thing. You got Bibles. Whew, spooky. An early effigy of Christ. An early effigy of... Check that out. And a Byzantine helmet. Very nice, very nice. Do you know, I love that there's no one in here. If this was in Amsterdam, it'd be full up. And Nubian stuff again.